definitely need to shatter this. Right? Big money, big money. We can draw it off this. Big money, big money, big money. Come on. Shatter, shatter, shatter. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. We're playing Orzhov Prison Control today, which focuses around Athreos, Shroud-Veiled, a 4/7 with Indestructible. It's a legendary enchantment slash god, right? So your devotion has to be equal to 7 for it to be a creature. If it's less than 7, it just remains an enchantment. However, you're always going to benefit from his abilities. At the beginning of your end step, put a coin counter on target creature, yours or your opponent's, which is pretty neat. And whenever a creature with a coin counter on it dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under our control. So we're a big fan of taking control of our opponent's permanents or creatures, anything that we can get our hands on. So this deck focuses around removing everything, controlling the game with board wipes, removal, sacrifice effects, and then just drawing it out to the very end when your opponent's got nothing in hand, they're top decking, and then you can kind of get out that win eventually. So, as always, if you find any value within the video, I really encourage you to go ahead and give it not only 1, but 2 thumbs up, right? Share this channel out to a friend as well. We're going to take a look at the deck list in its entirety, breaking down each and every individual card. What do they all do? What do they stand for? Then we're going to move into the deck tech, talking about the strategies and synergies. How do all of these individual cards come together to form a coherent archetype that can compete with this wilderness reclamation meta, right? Then we're going to watch some gameplay footage so you can see how this deck will engage with the rest of the meta. It's not enough just to know how the deck operates. You need to know how it operates against the rest of the meta because it's not always the same for specific matchups. Finally, we have our closing thoughts, talking about deck upgrades, alternative build routes, future content plans, etc., etc. So let's get right into it. Prison Control, Orzhov colors, black and white. Again, looking to control and lock out everything that our opponent is doing. We start out with 3 copies of Despark, an instant speed spell, exile target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or greater, hashtag wilderness reclamation. 3 copies of Golden Egg. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. We can sacrifice it to add 1 mana of any color, or we can sacrifice it for 2 and gain 3 life. 3 copies of Guild Globe. Again, when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. We can pay 2 to sacrifice it to add mana of any 2 different colors, which is quite nice. Mazemind Tome. Again, 3 copies of this. Another artifact. We can tap it to add a page counter. We get to scry 1. We can also pay 2 tap it to add a page counter, draw a card, and then when it gets 4 page counters on it, we're going to exile it and gain 4 life. On to our 3 drops, we've got 3 copies of Mortify, instant speed, destroy target creature or enchantment. 3 copies of Oath of Kaya. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target, and we gain 3 life. Whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker that we control, Oath of Kaya is going to deal 2 damage to them, and we're going to gain 2 life, which is pretty cool. Shatter the Sky, 3 copies of this is our first 4-drop, sorcery speed. Each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card, then destroy all creatures. 3 copies of Eat to Extinction, an instant speed spell. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Look at the top card of your library, and you may put that card into the graveyard. I have no idea why it doesn't say Surveil, but that's alright. Extinction Event for 4 sorcery, choose odd or even. Exile each creature with converted mana cost of the chosen value. 3 copies of Doom Foretold enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-land, non-token permanent. If that player can't, they discard a card, they lose 2 life, and you draw a card while gaining 2 life. You also get to create a 2/2 white knight with vigilance, and then we're sacking Doom Foretold. On to our 6 drops. Athreos, Shroud-Veiled. We already talked about this. Indestructible, 4/7. Devotion needs to be 7 for it to be a creature. At the beginning of your end step, put a coin counter on another target creature, and whenever target creature with a coin counter on it dies, return it to the battlefield under our control. Ugin for 8, 7 loyalty when he enters the battlefield, +2, dealing 3 damage to any target, -X, exiling each colored permanent with converted mana cost X or less, so we get to choose that, and then -10, gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and then put 7 permanents from our hand to the battlefield. So that's busted. We've got some plains, we've got 7 swamps, 4 forests, 4 Temple of Silence, and 4 Fatal Passages. The numbers on the new artwork is bugged, so you have to check the deck list. So we have 11 of each, which is pretty cool. And then no sideboard today because we're playing best of one. So that's the deck list. Let's break down the deck's strategies here. So really, there's not much going on. The first objective is to ramp. Second objective is to survive. I say ramp, but there's not really any ramp in the deck. What I mean is to flood the field with permanents while still receiving value for those permanents. So things like Golden Egg, it enters the battlefield and we get to draw a card. So it's like a cantrip kind of, where it's replacing itself on a good day. Bad day draws a land. The same goes with Guild Lagobe, and then Mazemind Tome is going to allow us to start scrying, to finding those cards, and it's going to just allow us to start drawing as well when we pay for it. So we're looking to flood the field with permanents while not losing too much value, right? We don't want to just like be passing our turn, not doing anything, because there's not a lot of early game interaction within the deck. It's kind of flimsy that way, but you don't really need it. It's got so much on the back end to just hold on a couple turns, get to where you want to go. And then again, the draws from the egg, the globe, and the scries and draws from the tomb really make finding that specific tool that you need for that individual matchup a lot easier. So first objective, flood the field with these artifacts. Oath of Kaya can come out as well. It doesn't need to be saved to remove a creature. It's not that important. Just get the permanent on the field, right? And then, you know, defend yourself. The second game mode that we want to be entering is defense, right? So again, Oath of Kaya kind of doubles down with that. Hopefully we get to remove a creature. If not, just play it, get the health points in. And then we have things like Mortify, Despark to remove, ideally, non-land permanents. We want to be removing, or non-creature permanents, I should say. We want to be making sure that we hit creatures primarily with our Shatter the Sky and our Extinction Event. These two removal spells don't hit non-creatures. They're not hitting planeswalkers. They're not hitting enchantments, right? So make sure that you try to get creatures with the spells that only get creatures, and try to get enchantments and artifacts with the spells that get those, right? So Despark is great. It can hit planeswalkers. It can hit enchantments. It can hit creatures. Don't use it to hit creatures. We don't have a lot for enchantments and we don't have a lot for planeswalkers. So really prioritize Despark for that. Mortify, again, really prioritize it for enchantments. If your opponent doesn't have enchantments, now you can use it as creatures, right? And then Shatter the Sky, always creatures. Extinction Event, always creatures. Eat to Extinction, things with haste or really good battlefield effects also is really good, you know, to get those planeswalkers off the field. So an example of a creature that you might want to take at instant speed is a Mayhem Devil, forcing him to have to sacrifice it so he can't just leave it on the field, right? Just things that you want off the field right away. Maybe a questing beast as it's coming in to attack. You can just like stop that. So that's really nice. So again, first step to recap is to flood the field with permanents. Make sure you're drawing, getting to where you want to go. If you need to defend yourself, then you defend yourself. It's you do have 20 life, so use that as a buffer zone. Don't shatter when there's only 2 creatures on the battlefield. And he's got 5 cards in hand. He's just going to play more next turn, and you're going to be forced into redoing it. Sure, do it if you have multiple field wipes, but if you just have one, try to bait him into playing as many creatures as you can before you wipe. That's really, really going to help you out. And then we're into phase 3 of the deck, which is control. It's more of the control aspect where we're playing Doom Foretold, right? And now we come full circle to phase 1. This is why we flooded the field with non-land permanents like the artifacts and the enchantments, right? So hopefully we wipe, then we doom, and now he wants to play something every turn, but then it just automatically is getting sacrificed next turn, which makes him have to take a turn off, which is really, really cool. And then he has to discard, lose 2 life, we gain 2 life, we get to 2/2, all that jazz, right? So that's a lot of value within Doom Foretold that I really, really, really like. And now all of this combos on to Athreos' ability, right? Because it's a pure removal deck. It's just straight removal. There's no getting around it. You play some, it's getting removed here. And then we're going to be bringing all of the creatures that get removed back to our side of the board, and that's really going to open up our offensive capabilities. We also have Ugin, which can just plus to infinity and -7. Again, more removal here with the -X, which is really, really cool. So the entire deck, as you can see, is removal. The only things that aren't removal are things that will be sacrificed later on with our Doom Foretold, and that will help draw us cards and scry find that removal more efficiently. So that is the general deck idea. First up, you know, play these artifacts, get those out there. Maybe Oath of Kaya too if he's not got any creatures. If he does, use it as the removal. Secondly, are you in a position where you can keep playing and progressing your game plan, or do you need to play defensively because he's going to kill you in 2 to 3 turns, right? In that case, we defend. After that, we establish control through Doom Foretold. We're continuing to ramp at that point. Athreos comes out, we start grabbing his creatures, more removal, more defense. Ugin comes out, use his special ability, which I reveal in today's footage, so you're going to want to watch for that. Ugin's hidden ability, guys, this is absolutely insane. I'm not going to say it here. You gotta look for it within today's gameplay footage, so very fun stuff. And yeah, that's it. It should win you a lot of games. If not, these are going to produce, or this deck is going to produce really entertaining matches that are very hard for your opponent and quite frustrating. So I've never actually had so much fun with an Orzhov Prison deck as this. I've made a few of them, but there's just something about this blend that really, really works. 26 land within the deck total, so it's a little high, but regardless, it's a control deck, so you want to be making sure you're always hitting 4 land on curve. Always hitting 5 and 6 on curve is ideal as well. After that, who cares, because we're just shattering and taking 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s, 4-for-1s. Anywho, you guys, with that all being said, before we get into today's gameplay footage, I want to remind you I am live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard, right in the morning in the West. At 7 a.m. Mountain Standard, we jump onto Twitch for 4 to 8 hours every single day, and then we're in the Discord also, for the entirety of our life. Links for everything, description below. I really appreciate your support. Everybody's time and attention is absolutely incredible. Gracias. Also to all of our Patreon supporters, our YouTube members, and our Twitch Prime peeps. I really appreciate it. You're making the increased workload absolutely possible. So it's not only me who's incredibly appreciative, but it's the whole community who's enjoying this content as well. So they've got you to thank for it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch and look for Ugin's hidden ability, as well as my final thoughts. Take care. Peace. Okay. Power in 3s. We need a 3rd land, I guess. We should be able to draw it with our Guild Glove, and if not, scry it with our Tome. Nothing on turn 1. It's never a great feeling. Oh, and we don't top deck a land. This could get weird. Let's draw it here. Please and thank you. Negative. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-O. Pretty good chance that we'll top deck one. He's paying life for the counter, or the what I would assume is a growth spiral, the greatest card in the game. We're gonna take this card on his end step in case he's got some shenanigans with our library, right? Mill or reshuffle. All right, we're good to go. No event, we want land. Right, we have the Shatter for field control. Reclamation, sure. That's just like, more of the same. Counter magic available? Probably. But if we could have him counter it, that would be cool. Or not counter it, sacrifice it. It would not be cool if he countered it. Let's be clear on that. Ending our turn here. Off is fine. Turn ourselves over. Then we can bring the mic a little bit closer. Ending our turn here. So, he did sacrifice his Wilderness Reclamation like we wanted. That's awesome. Let's take our Scry ahead of time. Just get it out of the way. There's that second land that we want, right? The closer we can get to Athreos, the better. We're gonna probably toss our Guild Globe. Playing the land. Passing the turn. Doom Foretold is going to fizzle here. We get to have him discard a card, we draw a card. And we get a 2/2 with Vigilance. Of course, Doom Foretold does get sacrificed then, though. Our objective of this deck is really just to kind of survive, control the field with wipes, and play our Shroud-Veiled, which will put counters on our opponent's creatures. And then when those creatures die or go to exile, they re-enter the battlefield under our control. Alright, Electro Dominance. He gets to cast something for 4. The Urge. Interesting. Non-land card from it. So he can cast that as long as it's exiled. And I think he's probably going to go directly for our Veiled there. So that was our end game scenario. Maybe he goes for the Tomb, but I can almost guarantee he takes our God. He's down to his last card as well, so he needs to make it count, and for that reason he may take the Tome. The removal is irrelevant if he... Okay. I don't mind having, that other Tome. Take a draw here instead of the Scry for another Shatter. Play this other Tome. We can Scry on this one and draw on that one, which is nice. He can play our dude, though. It will never really enter the battlefield, though, because his Devotion won't get there. But the thing is, he can put counters on our creatures and then remove them, which would be a bummer. Alright, let's take... Or should we just be greedy and draw the whole time? We have the land, we should just double draw. Okay, Doom Foretold. My turn. So we can just have him... we better play our land in case there's some shenanigans. We can have him sacrifice the Veiled now. And we're going to keep this one alive so we can sack it. And that basically stops him from playing his Wilderness Wreck or something, right? We need to re-find an Athreos. 3, 6, 7, one more land, and we're within Uro range, or not Uro, Ugin range as well. Taking another draw here. So much removal. My turn. We'll toss our Tome. Land. Our opponent could go. It's always a pleasure to start beating Wilderness Wreck. And again, we're going to need to somehow close this out. He's going for it. Interested. He's got 5 mana. He's just dealing 3 damage to us. Okay. Okay. Loses life. We get our Ugin, ladies and gentlemen. We're just looking for that. Oh no, we have 8 land. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, nice. So he did deal with our Athreos, but we've got our backup plan. And so this is a secret, you guys. I've not really told to many people. Ugin has a special ability that you've not been told about. A 0 ability. It's really, really good. You play Ugin, you activate his 0 ability by pressing hello, followed by good game, and this will automatically get you the win. Let's take the draw.
Always consider the consequences.
Let's go easy on him though. I don't want to use his 0 ability. It's kind of rude. We don't like to show it to people too often. It's a well-kept secret that we're going to keep to ourselves. Except for all of you. You know, you're getting some insider secrets here. He's got a lot of mana and refilled his hand. Wilderness Wreck doing Wilderness Wreck things. I'm actually just impressed that we've made it to, what, turn 8 or whatever. Against a Wilderness Wreck with our janked up deck. So, you know, Uro's gone and then he's going to re-come back. We can just exile it. But I'd really like to, you know, have our Athreos in the field before we start exiling his permanents. Interesting. Oh, so much removal. It's ridiculous. Alright, we're clicking up again. To 11. And, we may as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just hold off. What were we going to draw, right? Like, what could we draw that would help us? Other than an Athreos, I guess. And he costs, what, 6? We could cast him. If only we had counter magic to stop these expansions and stuff. The Shark Typhoon is whatever. The Mortify works too, but we want to kind of save that. We should have maybe kept this for Planeswalkers, maybe. And Nissa could go to town on us. Land to the graveyard, please. So that does help. This was on our turn as well, which is a bummer. So maybe we should have left it sit there for a second. Castle Vantress is really, really good for him. Scry 2 for 4. We're going to play his Uro. We can just Despark it. Oh, because it's 3 even though the escape is 4. Okay. Funny stuff. Let's just take that out. He could counter it. Sure. We'll hit it next turn. I mean, you could get lucky with just a string of counters, I suppose. It was cool that he was able to use the most of that Mystical Dispute. It's like the only time. Take that draw. Gaining 4 life here as well. This is actually not the worst. We should just -10 though, right? We only have 2 permanents in our hand. It's so tempting. The -10 should just win us the match, let's be honest. Very few permanents. So playing an Ugin, right? Playing Doom Foretold, playing our Golden Egg, playing our Oath of Kaya, Plains. We keep the new Ugin. 3 damage here. Draw a card. Ugin does the other 3 damage to Uro. I just love going the distance with Wilderness Reclamation decks. It's so much fun. I got you.
Consider this warning.
Alright, let's just take the draw, I guess. Land. Play that. And yeah, I think we're just gonna straight up chill out here. Doom Foretold is gonna make him discard, much like ourselves. Let's get rid of a Shatter. Two to the top, he must have liked that. You know, opt one of them into his hand. We do have instant speed mana. So let's get rid of Shatter. It's the card of ours that he's seen. He actually has to discard here, and he loses 2 life. We get that 2/2 on the field again. Counter target creature spell. We don't really have that. So that makes sense. Here's Wilderness Wreck. I get you. He just needs a hard counter, at which point we'll mortify it afterwards. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, do another expansion explosion, bro. Plays his arrow again, I guess. That's fine. We might have to use his 0 ability soon, you guys. He's just burning through these cards, though. We've got 2 expansions in the library, or the graveyard. And a full hand again. It just goes to show you how powerful this deck really is. Crazy stuff. My turn, please and thank you. Let's start doing some of this direct damage.
I will destroy if I must.
Add 2 mana, gain 3 life, add mana. Don't really need to do any of those things. Ending our turn here. We have 37 life, so it's going to be hard for him to deal 37 damage to us without a wreck in it, like a huge expansion explosion. And he keeps wasting them. There's his third one to kill. Should we exile it so there's no... No, he'll still gain it. Right, it doesn't fizzle. Just fill up that hand, baby. So he's down to 1 expansion explosion. He's gonna really appreciate this. No. Okie dokie. I mean, he can replay Uro and try to win that way. Looking for our Athreos. His land's tapped. Okay, play the land. Take the draw. Another Extinction Event. This is just getting dirty. Pure removal. We have 21 cards left. He's down to 14. Surprised he doesn't have less. This is going to be quite the turn for him. Look out, world. Like, I'm straight up frightened for this. So we know he's got more stuff going on. We need to put a stop there. Should we do it before the draw? Just waiting. We need him to use the rest of that mana before his end step. Right here. Oh, but he's still got quite a bit of it. We're still gonna try to go for it. He's got 4 mana. I'm sure he's got a counter available. No, we get it. Nice. That's so good. He's adding a token to that? He must be. To 2, he wants to hit all these artifacts. Playing an Uro on top of this Uro, so we don't even have to exile it like we were wanting to. Goes to the grave. And he's just looking to gain life and draw cards. Classic stuff. Let's snag that off the field. It does take care. Yeah, and then the events and stuff can get the Uros. So this will get his Wilderness Wreck. At the very least, this has been an incredibly entertaining match. Ending our turn. More drawing. Do you think he has a self-mill win condition? Or like a shuffle your graveyard into your library type scenario? Which is getting smaller every time. Every Earl it gets a little bit smaller. There's no way he can deal enough damage to us without a Wilderness Reclamation Art. We've got 1, 2... 3 Rex gone. Sharknado, pretty cool. Or Shark Typhoon, I should call it. Sure. A lot of mana. Play Uro on top of that. No, he wants to kill these, which is fine. They do nothing for us. I guess I could have gained a life there. That would have been smart. Whoops. We're having a brain meltdown waiting him to draw his last 8 cards. Another golden egg, help us draw. More land, of course. And yeah, let's just hit him with the heater, right? They're not creatures, they're tokens, so exile doesn't really give us too much of a benefit. Down to 6. We're at 18. If this Wilderness Wreck hits, I'm gonna be worried. Right? Let's keep in mind that we need to be sacrificing this for 2 to gain life, instead of just letting it die. Another Uro. There's no shark triggers there, that's nice. Gets a draw, that is nice. Fable Passage is nice as well, if he can pull a land out with it. Right? Still really trying to thin that library. There's no land left in his library. These are 5 permanent cards. Nice. And we're ready to, you know, zap that Wilderness Wreck when it hits, and then we deal with the sharks the turn after. Yup. Are those all negates? This is such a long con. Yes, we can pay for that though. And still shatter. So we know that's his last counter because it was like a desperation move. Right, that still leaves us with 4. But that will use all of our mana. I guess it doesn't matter. Actually, let's try to get the exile on the odd. Just so we can't recast it. So he could still beat us. If one of these is a Wilderness Wreck and the other is an Expansion Explosion, I think he can still beat us. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 4 for the wreck is 14. Another 4 for the expansion explosion, and then he gets 14 plus 10, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. We're gonna take the damage. I'm worried about it. I don't know if this was a mistake not shattering here. I don't know. I think take the hit, bomb the wreck. We've come far enough. We don't want to make a silly decision, right? Arrow? Sure, draw a card, bro. I like that. Down to 3 cards in library. I'm hoping that he just needs to bash us for the win, and we can just get this high-valued shatter in play. That could have more negates, though, right? Negates is what stops us here. Negates is his bread and butter right now. Take the damage. Gain the life. Deep breaths. We could end up in trouble if this gets countered. It does. Yikes. Oh, that's not good. It's that negate, boys. We were talking about that negate. There it is. He's down to 2. Down to 1. If we can survive this turn, I think we win. Shark Typhoon's fine. They don't have haste. Nice. This is a very good game. Last card. He needs to shuffle that graveyard back in. We're getting hit for, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? Oh, no, because he gets to draw one more time. So I think he might have it because of the Sharks. We need a shatter here. Oh, that's not it. He can't attack with Uro. Does he have an expansion here? His last one? He must. Or it's a cycle. Oof. Oof. Dead. We did all we could. We did all we could. It would be cool if I could cast these. You know, that would be so fun. Cry. And here's our Athreos right at the very bottom. You know how much benefit that would have been to us? We had instant speed field removal. That would be awesome. He made us draw because, you know, he didn't want to make himself draw. So he even was able to box out of that. No, Earl can't attack, so he's doing everything perfectly. Oh, and we can't, they're not 4 or greater. Stupid Shark Typhoons. I guess we should have taken those earlier. We were worried about a Wilderness Wreck, so we were saving them. Regardless, this is one of the greatest matches within Magic that I've had in a long time. So I'm not upset against playing Wilderness Wreck here. When I do normally, I am. So this has been a great experience. Mwah. Opponent goes first, bummer, but we do have like a really cool looking hand against a filthy green deck as well. I hope it's Mutate. Right? Then our Shatter becomes very high value. Unless he has some form of indestructible. Whoa. Is anyone witnessing this? Are we going to get put back in that same match? What? We just got like removed from the match. This is new. What is happening? And now we're locked in queue. What? Wizards! Let's try to jump out there real quick. Jump back in. What kind of shenanigans was that? I've never been removed from the match like that before. Like, it took us out to the main screen before it dropped us. That's incredible. Okay, maybe we will get put into the same match, though. What? Alright, I'm not roping you, my friend. I'm so sorry. He's already got a Garrick on the field! What the hell? And I can't use this land that just entered the battlefield? Maybe if we go to our next phase. No! What the hell? There's some of those streamer benefits you're all talking about. Oh gosh. More planeswalkers. Yeah, come on, bro.
Every creature deserves life, and I will protect them. Diversity is our greatest strength.
Out of our way.
What a fun and engaging match of Magic. Let's pick up that Garrick.
One day, I'll find you again.
We've got removal. Let's refocus ourselves, you guys. You know, people have extra turns in Magic all the time. Normally, you get to play against it and try to stop it, but it's okay. It's okay. Not the worst. 6 damage sucks, but let's just clean up. More creatures. More creatures. Yes, more creatures. He's playing from the top of his library. That sucks. 1s and 0s, so we have to shatter. Are you joking me about this land? All right, good game, bro. What a life.
Every day is a new mutation.
We should have actually gained life there instead of just tapping our lands for nothing. And then maybe somehow that could have triggered. I don't know. Probably not. Whoa! Whoa! It entered the battlefield! Give us hope, my lord! It's just a long con, you know what I mean? We wanted the big shatter. Oh gosh. I have lived. I have lived, ladies and gentlemen.
Diversity is our greatest strength.
Who mainboards Thought Distortion in best of one? You are a madman, Yamamoto. You're hitting us with these elite hacks I'm unaware of. You know, mana weaving from outside the game. Probably while you kick us out of the match. Probably hits his library, you know what I mean? That collection. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Just what a great time this has been. Some grade A quality content for you all. This is how to win a match of Magic the Gathering Arena. This hand's not great. We have removal, which is good, and we're running 26 lands, so we shouldn't have any problem, especially with the Scry, so risk it for the biscuit, and, I mean, just building into an Ugin's never bad. Best case scenario, 8 turns from now, we play Ugin. Mono red. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Probably not mono red if he passage, though. Must be at least Gruul. It's Is It. Pulling our third land. That's awesome. Take our Scry. Land is perfect. We do need a secondary plains, though, is the thing. I mean, I guess we don't need Shatters and Extinction Events if there's no creatures being played, though, so let's be mindful of that. We're going to take a draw on his end step. Reunion. So it's probably a Phoenix Dex, I'm thinking. Okay, that's good against some sort of aggro. Let's pass our turn. Just trying to draw these matches out as long as we can, getting the most value out of these cards as we can. Okay, it gives us a creature to now get rid of with Doom Foretold.
And many training to know is to triumph.
Let's take another draw. Fabled Passage. Let's sack that. Thinning our library of land, which is really nice. Grabbing that second plains brings Shatter online. And now Doom Foretold can take the Royal Scions out of play. We sacrifice our Tome. So it basically means he's not playing anything on this turn. He'll have to play instant speed on our turn. And again, we're just like kind of limping along, getting to where we want to get to. Ideally, we start emptying out his hand onto the field. And we do see a little bit of it here. Oath of Kaya comes in useful there. Yep. Now we could even just let this trigger. Right? 4 or greater is absolutely going to smack this Arclight Phoenix for us. But we will let it leave and then re-enter. So let's just play this Tomb. So we have the option to sacrifice something again. And then we can even draw a card off it, which is fun. Ending our turn. He's got a sack here unless he's got a flash creature. No, that's great. To the library, so it can be replayed, but hopefully he just drains his hand of these little spells in hopes of getting it back. Our turn, perfect. Let's take that draw. More Desparks is great. Da 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 da. Let's get rid of our Tomb. That's what it's there for. We are getting hella close to Ugin. This is 3, 6, 7. I say we play our Oath just to ensure that Doom Foretold can stick around in case he flashes something out. Ending our turn. It fizzles. He has to discard. He's shocking in. Okay, that's fine. We're still at 18. Not really any worries there. We don't get to scry before we sack it, sadly. That sack triggers like on the turn start before you're allowed any interaction. So he's adapting this Termander. Pretty cool stuff. Can he give it haste? Lava coils. Lands. We could Ugin, but I mean maybe we should just hold on to that. Right? Let's just hit him with the heater. He's got 37 left. I mean, I'd like to get Ugin out and start plussing him. But we're going to have to avoid the Phoenixes is the thing. Crackling Drake's pretty cool. Again, we'll just hit it with an Extinction Event. Let's take that draw. Doom Foretold's always a lot of fun. Thinning our library of land with our Fatal Passage. Increasing the chance that we'll draw a non-land. This is even. Another. So we have 4 of these to deal with. 1 Phoenix in the graveyard only. Lots of scries, 32. Doom Foretold would have been a lot of fun. We'd have to -4, which puts him at 3, which will probably get him killed. We can pay 2 to draw and still do that. So let's look for a different answer. And I'm not really liking using that Extinction Event. And we still have 4, so let's play this as well. Take a look for another answer. Just land. Let's pass our turn. We'll just Despark on its attack. Let's use a counterspell. That would be really good. I never thought of that. No. Three Crackling Drakes in a row. Nice. It's shock down to 18. Okay, 2 Ugin, so now we can kind of mess around with the first one. Let's take the draw, we can afford to do that. Let's play Ugin, just -4.
Accept a lesser world, and you will grow lost to history.
He could unsummon it, maybe? He just slays our Ugin. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Reality.
Down to 3 cards, down to 2 cards. We're getting them trimmed, right? He takes his Scry 2, down to 29. Lands. Let's keep trimming those from our library, because I hate pulling them. This is gonna get weird.
Peace is fragile and fleeting. Cherish what I will destroy.
Let's pass our turn.
If I must.
So with only 2 cards in hand, the chance that he can cast to get that Phoenix back is going to be not likely. He probably has another Thunder Raptor just to slay our Ugin. Nice. Okay, only hits us for 6. It's still alive, but he gets to draw 3. Well, he's got a full hand, and that's what we were trying to, you know, get rid of. No more lands. Oh my lord, really? Let's take that scry. I mean, it's not bad. We may as well stack permanents. Let's take the draw. 4 life, which is really good. And then we'll take the draw again. Of course, more land. Let's hit our opponent down to 9.
My flames burn
Ending your turn.
perception.
You know, Castle Ardenvale, I guess, would go really well here. Even potentially Castle Lochthwain. A Niv Mizzet in the house! Nice! Then a Soul Seer on our Ugin. Okay, okay. This guy's bringing the heat late game. That's for sure. Woof. He is down to 20 cards. We're at 26 as well. I have no idea how we're drawing so many cards. People are drawing 6 a turn. How do we keep up with that? I mean... yeah. We may as well just eat that mana up right now. We have every possible land within our deck pulled here. Just kill a Niv. Wow. Okay, let's top deck another land here, right? Rouse. Casual 14.
Decisions.
Down to 17 cards. Another opt. So he could outdraw himself, right? Down to 14. Or he could just hold off. Yeah, crazy stuff. Not good. Oh! This is good, though. Wow. Hashtag lucky. Does Ral go or does Niv go? I bet Niv or Ral goes. Yeah, we're holding on. We're gonna try. I don't think it's enough, but you know, it's something. Can he shuffle his graveyard back? And he can probably just spam out a billion phoenixes on us, can he not? I only see the one in there. Yeah, I just see the one Phoenix engrave. I mean, Niv just does so much damage, so I'm sure it can kill us just by drawing and, you know, dealing that direct damage through shock and lightning strike, stuff like this. It's gonna be a good finale. Wow, we need to remove that immediately. That's intense. We need to shatter off the top. Phoenix can attack. The Termander. Oh my lord. We definitely need to shatter this. right? Big money, big money. We can draw it off this. Big money, big money, big money. Come on. Shatter, shatter, shatter. I mean, he's still gonna kill us, right? We're still gonna die because this Phoenix is, and like, just there's so much haste and direct damage in his arsenal, and these don't gain life, they gain mana. But we get close, man. We get close. We gain 2 life here, which is nice. Oath of Kaya gains us life, but we need our turn back. We need to survive this turn. These are some very like entertaining matches today. This is ridiculous. Lava Coil, acceptable, but he's gonna double Phoenix us for 6. And this is what's heartbreaking. Even with our Supreme Pull, all he needs to cast is 2 more instances and sorceries. And oh! Really? We have to go for it. We can't stay at 6. Taking him down to 4. We're at 9. We have instant speed removal. Interesting. Scry 1, that's cool. He's down to 3 cards in his library. Whew. So at the very least, we're able to hold our own and try to drain our opponent's deck out every match, right? We've done that extremely well each time. Expansion Explosion. Stop it. Nice. 14. He'll deal 10 damage here. We come so close. If only we could gain a single form of life. Right? So close. So close. Good game. He just milled himself there as well. So it it results in a draw because he needed to have us draw the cards, not him, right? So I'll take a draw. I'm fine with that, right? Even though it is a lost color, it should be both colors maybe. Good game. All right, did you guys catch Ugin's hidden ability? If not, you better go back and watch it again, right? It was in there, I promise. It's Ugin's 0 ability. I'll tell you it here, so you watch to the end. You put him on the field, you don't use any of his abilities, you go into your emotes, hello, good game, and then this should be enough to trigger your opponent. He's gonna pop his brain, he's gonna accidentally hit the concede button. If you're lucky, if not, he control Alt Forward, and he just went right to Riot Games installing Legends of Runeterra. So I'm sick of this guy. Right, so enjoy, you guys. This is a great deck, and we had some of the best, most entertaining matches probably all year. It's great, like that Wilderness Wreck match. Silly negates. Those are for kids. We almost had them. We were close. Let me know what you think of the deck list. Any improvements, changes that you guys thought of while watching this video. Let me know. Personally, I think maybe we could use a little bit more of a win con. Maybe ECDs could help as well. I don't know. It's not an incredibly competitive deck, and you know, you might not want to be spending your mythic rares on Athreos Shroud-Veiled, but potentially you got some from your packs. You've been like, how do I make this guy into like a competitive card? It's so good, I want to play with him. Well, here's how, you guys, right? It's within Prison Control, Orzhov colors. A lot of fun. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. All of our recent support on YouTube, Patreon, Twitch, making all of this possible. You know, not only myself, but the community. Thanks you as a whole. Woof. Right? And yeah, with that being said, we're live on YouTube every day at 6 a.m. Live on Twitch every day at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard. And then we're in the Discord all day as well. So links it for everything in the description below. More importantly than everything you've seen here today, you guys, go have yourselves a great day. Take care and enjoy. See you tomorrow.